Kia ora team, Noa Woolloff here. Thanks so much for tuning into today's episode. But there's one important thing I want to say before you watch this video. I've noticed that over 91% of you who watch our content on YouTube do not subscribe to the podcast. My promise to you is if you subscribe to the podcast, I'll continue to get more of the guests on that you love and make sure that this conversation and this podcast grows to new levels. So please hit that subscribe button. Secondly, a massive shout out to our official sponsor of the podcast, Moana Road. If you want to save some cash and get some of their awesome gears, head to their website and plug in BTS20 and you'll get 20% off all of their products. Save some cash, support the podcast. Hope you enjoyed this conversation. Harry, brother, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Dude,
pleasure.
Great to have you here. Bro, I feel like there's so much of like my story and your story in a weird way. And I was looking through your gram and I saw like a video that you posted and you're talking about like being a young father and that you couldn't afford to fail. And that just like hit me hard. It resonated so much because I think we share quite a lot of similarities in that sense. I was a dad when I was 16, you were 18.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
DILF Club, let's go.
Wow. 16, bro. Yeah.
And I just want to like sort of hone in on that comment. Like, you know, there's too much on your plate to fail. Like, what did you mean by that?
I think that what I mean by it is like you carry a lot of, well, there's like an element of shame that you carry, right? But you can either, there's two ways to look at it. You can either lean into it and use it as something to drive you, which is kind of what I've tried to take. Because then if you fail, the village looks at you as if you failed and you've actually got further to fall, much further to fall, you know? And I was raised by such amazing parents, you know, good Irish Catholic upbringing. And,
Nice.
And failure for me would have been, I didn't want to fail in their eyes because my dad was such a good father. My mum was such a good mother. There's no way I could be a poor father. You know, what a disgrace to the family. And then there's that's sort of like the primary part of it. And then you've also got the village, right? Like your school and your teachers. Right. And I was a pretty good kid at school. Just did too much networking on the weekend, you know? And it was more I wanted to prove them wrong. Yeah. Like, you know, it wasn't a drop kick. It's what you feel like. Yeah. You know?
And those feelings of shame, like how long did that take you until that went away?
It's interesting to say. Like, I think I just sort of tried to grow a little bit of like controlled arrogance about it. You know, I was like, oh, well, if I'm so good at other stuff, then it doesn't matter. That burns it out, you know? So I think probably late 20s though, to be honest. True. You know, till I was like, oh, I actually don't care about what people think about it anymore. Yeah. Like most of my drive for career and things and getting like modeling and shit, trying to be cool and things like that in my early to mid 20s was completely driven by that. But then late 20s, when bit more self-discovery, expressing myself and finding out a bit more about who I am without the shackles. And that's when I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm old now. Yeah. You know, who cares?
Yeah, there's so many like similarities, bro. And I definitely was hit with those like feelings of shame, eh? And I think it's like the stereotype of what like a teen dad is and how that's always been portrayed across like politics and like the media. And yeah, similar to you, came from a great household, but didn't want to sort of like let the family down in a way, even though, you know, like bringing like a life into this world is like the fucking best accomplishment, the most amazing thing you can do, right?
Crazy science, eh?
Yeah, it's fucking so surreal. So I'm just like taking you back to like 18-year-old Harry. Like what decisions were you placed with when you got told you were going to be a dad? And how did that change the trajectory of your life, or did it?
Oh, completely, bro. Yeah. So when I was in 7th form, life was all rugby. Like my whole life has been rugby, you know.
What position do you play real quick?
Fullback.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fullback and wing. And it was always rugby. So when I got to 7th form, St. Pat's Town did this exchange with France. And you would go and play in Arras, which is what that tunnel's named after in the basin. Because the Kiwi soldiers during the war were stationed in Arras. And so they dug all the tunnels and stuff all around there. So there's this crazy relationship between Wellington and this tiny town in the north of France.
Crazy.
And that's why this sort of exchange happens. One of the other reasons why is because the French blew up the Rainbow Warrior and killed the chef. So there was like a handshake agreement that the French government would give X amount to Kiwi students every year. So I kind of was on the receiving end of that. That's the yarn anyway. So my whole life was rugby, and so seventh form was getting in a position to be able to go to France at the end of the year and then stay there. Mm-hmm. I never pictured coming back to New Zealand. I was just going to play rugby overseas in France or wherever I could and travel the world. That's all I wanted to do. My brothers were traveling. My older cousins were all traveling. I think in our Dalton family, being worldly is a bit of a value of success, you know, and that's sort of what I grew up around. Oh, they live in London. Oh, wow. So that's kind of the pinnacle of life, is to live overseas.
Yeah.
My oldest brother still lives in Europe. He's in Sweden now. And so when that happened, you have to backtrack 10 years of dreams as a child. You know, everything that you've worked towards, getting better at rugby, going to the gym, getting fit, all goes out the window. And it took me a really long time to be comfortable with, and I think it still eats at me, to be honest, to be comfortable with my life and what was in front of me, you know? So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to study and get a degree and make sure that when she gets older, I can pay for uniforms, or I can pay for support and everything like that. And yeah, so the decision was, all right, we'll go to uni, work your ass off, and then hopefully you can make some money to support yourself, you know, and support her and her mother. And yeah, but I still think there's definitely some unpacking to do with someone in a slanted chair around.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah. around that. But yeah, I think about it often still. Like, my life completely changed. I never envisioned what I was life in New Zealand in my 20s.
Yeah.
It was always life overseas.
Yeah, that's huge, bro. I'm also like really interested across your story, because like your background, obviously studying marketing at university, and then you've worked for like a series of like pretty established brands as well. Was it Timely?
Timely.
To doing like sort of social media marketing content for them, and then working in another like creative agency as well. And I think for a lot of people that listen to this podcast, and just people out there in general, like when you've got a decent paying 9 to 5, it can get really easy just to get comfy. You know what I mean? Like you know, you've got consistent money coming in. You might be like climbing the corporate ladder. You might be quite comfortable in that. But when did you realize that you weren't content?
I'm never content. Yeah, like I think it's a mixture of being ADHD and like always wanting the next stimulation, next challenge. You know, like I was listening to a podcast once, and it was talking about what sort of person you are. And it really like changed a lot of perspective for me, because I was like, oh, I'm a problem solver, or I'm a challenge seeker. That's what I really love. That's because I always felt a bit naked without having a craft. You know, I'd look at mates who study design or barbers or something. I was like, that's, you know, they're so cool, they have a craft. I don't have a craft. But then I realized my craft is actually problem solving, and I became super that just made me feel really good about all my decisions and things like that. But I've always just had that itch to keep going. Like, I think I said to you, I'd never stayed in a job longer than a year, but 18 months at Timely, 18 months at Motion Sickness, and then working for myself. Because as soon as I sort of clocked that goal, I was like, what's next? Okay, cool. And then if I hit a ceiling where the management or the people above you don't let you keep going, I'm like, I'm out, because I need a challenge. Otherwise, I'm a bit lost, you know. And I think it was a bit of a mixture of like, you know, with rugby, if that in my mind, it was like you're just always going for a better team up. You're always trying to go up. I suppose that's been my mindset forever. So when you transfer that to a corporate life, it's the same. I just want to go up. You know, I want more challenging things. And so generally when I saw that there was no further, or I had to wait a year, I was like, I'm out. You know?
And sort of like itchy teeth then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always itchy, always looking for the next thing. And early on in my career, that was my life, I suppose. You know, it's like, this is it.
Yeah.
Now I think it's important to find a bit more balance. Like I'm 31 now, and I think that like that challenge seeking is quite good to come from exercise, sports, or other activities like that. I don't know, because you realize like life isn't all about working.
Yeah, big time.
We're doing it for our entire life. So
yeah, big time, bro.
Yeah, but totally just itchy feet and just want to try the next thing. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bored. I just suffer. No, if I'm bored, I kind of spin out. You know, like it's not really healthy for me.
Do you need like multiple things going on at every time? Like, is it like a sort of self-diagnosed ADHD?
Yeah, diagnosed last year.
Oh, nice.
Which was like, wow, such a weight off my shoulders, because it
sort of made sense now.
I just recognized what a lot of these things were.
Yeah.
One thing's like constantly beating yourself up for not achieving that goal yet. Like impatience. I've always been impatient, and going, okay, well, let's like work on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and those a few other things like social situations where you're a bit overstimulated or you can't have a conversation. So I'm darting over to the next person, or darting around there, or drinking just to like have something in your hand, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's certainly that. Even before these podcasts, I'm like, I mean, I've quit vaping now, but I have this nicotine spray. And I'm like, I just have to splash my face for it, because, you know, like just sit down and it's
True.
like,
True. Need like a little fidget thing, eh?
Yeah, I do. I just sort of do like some patterns with my fingers. You know?
Like, would you say on that line, have you got like quite an addictive personality too?
Yeah, I like to think I'm not, because I haven't gambled before, but that's not the only, you know,
the gateway drug. Yeah,
I've got like a buzz personality. Like if I'm on a buzz, I'm on that buzz, you know, and I go really hard for a while. Whether it's a new sport, like when I was a kid, it was like one summer it's softball, or one summer it's mountain biking, or one summer it's skating was for ages, and then rugby, and then one thing I did notice is saying the one that's lasted is surfing, which I think it's just easier on the body, and I love it. You never clock it. That's why it's so addictive, because you'll never clock it. A bit like golf, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I noticed I'd be surfing and I'd be out for like 20 minutes and I was getting bored. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, I thought this is really like odd. And I was like, that's a reason to see a doctor.
Especially like, surfing, bro?
Yeah, I should be out here for hours, but I was getting bored. I was like, there's something going on up here.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
I've only been surfing like a handful of times, and I'm like proper shit.
Yeah.
And I'll catch no waves, but I love just being out there with the surfers. There's something about just being buoyant, and like when I'm not trying to catch a wave, they might even think that I am a good surfer. So I just feel like the man for a bit.
Nah, bro, they'll know.
yeah. Who am I kidding?
No, but it is. It's the whole package of surfing, because you travel to a destination generally, and then there's that tranquility out the back when you're waiting.
Yeah.
And then the surfing part's 0.1% of it.
Oh, big
you're only
time.
standing up for like a tiny, tiny portion of it.
Yeah.
But I think surfing suits my brain, because it's like a fast, high impulse sport. You know, and even with my rugby style, I could never memorize moves, which was a bit annoying in New Zealand. So I could never play like first five or anything, because I don't know, it just doesn't
just
sit
the
my
plays
brain
and stuff.
Yeah, but then when you go to France, they like don't memorize. We're not playing a play. Like it's never plays. It's pretty much always freestyle, which is quite cool, and it suited me. You know. Yeah.
So, bro, talk to me about the decision to move from your 9 to 5 to set up academy agency. What was your thinking within, like, I guess the week prior to telling your manager that you were going to quit?
Like, so a little bit of a setup. Like I can't go 5 minutes without telling anyone this, but I'd been working at motion sickness for a year and a half, and my guts like kind of gave way. My health got quite bad. I used to go and get Subway for lunch, and I had to sleep on the couch for an hour and a half at New Zealand's best agency, now just voted or something. And it's because I had a gluten intolerance.
Oh shit, bro.
And it was so, I was like, what's going on? I couldn't keep my eyes open. And so
Was your manager like, what's wrong with this guy? Like,
yeah, they kind of thought it was funny, I suppose, but I
you got
didn't,
clients coming in.
I did, yeah, because it was like the main room couch, like it was, yeah. And it had to be an hour and a half. I just couldn't keep my eyes open. And, but it's something that you get with being gluten intolerant. Yeah. So then I sorted that out and cut all that food out, and I was like, boom, just got like this burst of a new lease on life. Like it was crazy. I was like, oh, I'm on. Did the Auckland Marathon like a month later. I was already signed up, but did that, and like those two things combined, I was like, okay, hold on. I've now got energy, and I just ran 41 kilometers. I'm the man.
Hell
yeah. So that gave me the confidence to dive in the deep end, but it was just a money thing. Like I was on an all good salary, but when you have a child as well that lives in another city, so you're paying $400 for return flights. If you're on 75 grand a year, you knock off 15 pretty quickly, and then you start on your salary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So living in Auckland on 55 grand a year, 60 grand a year or something, it was pretty hard.
Yeah, big time.
So I grew up in a self-employed household, right? So I was like, well, I want to be the sort of in control of my own financial destiny. And I've always been like, oh, I could do that better. I could do that better. I could do that better. And as motion sickness was growing, they were going just down production sort of, and I was doing digital marketing and social. So it was quite a cool little split. I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to go this way. And it worked out all amicably. And Legends gave me a couple of clients, and that was the only reason I was able to do it, because I had $40 to my name. I mean, my car crapped out, and it was like a doozy old BMW repair, and I had to drain Amelie's account, my daughter's account, to pay for it, and I had $40, and I was like, oh, this ain't my future.
Shit.
And it was more like I had a knife to my throat. I didn't have a choice. I was like, well, I'm at the ceiling here, and I need to go and make some more money. So there's one way to do it, and then the impulsivity of being ADHD just helps catapult you into making that decision as well. Like as a marketing agency owner, all my clients are ADHD. Because you have to be
like, these are my people.
Yeah, it's great. It's like two positive batteries though often. But so I was sitting down at the beach at Piha, and I just wrote for 4 pages. This is what I'm going to do. I've still got that notebook. It's going to be a called Academy agency, and this is how I'm going to do it, and handed my resignation, and I think by February I had left and was full-time on Academy, and then moved into the Department of Arts shared space.
Man,
like the first week, and it was $90 a week, and I was like, whoa. But moving into that shared space was the best thing ever. Because it's so tough running our own business, especially like solo founder startup in a city you're not from. And those boys weren't as well, so we're all in it together. We can talk about the troubles together. Just made it completely bearable. Like some very, very dark days, some really dark periods, with clients, and I knew that if I just got through that door, and I'd be okay.
What would you say, bro, to like other people listening who might be in like a similar position that you were in? They might have that like little entrepreneurial zing about them. I don't know, that like just that curiosity, but they're stuck in a 9-to-5. They don't know if they should pull the trigger because there's too much risk involved. What would you say to somebody thinking along those lines?
If you're 30, like what I would say is just do it on the side and work your ass off at night. And find those hours. You're a better worker by 30, like your productivity is going to be higher because you're better at sitting down, giving yourself structure and things like that. With brands that I've worked with, the ones that scale the most are the ones that kept their job for about 3 years, because you kind of hit this like pressure point at the 3-year mark where you have maybe 1,000 customers or something, that then you have enough to actually grow quick enough to pay yourself and pay someone else. If you're in your early 20s, and there's a lot of pressure in your early 20s, I think, with I don't know if it's self-imposed, I don't know if it's even social media, it's probably around before that, but you see other young successful entrepreneurs, and you're like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Like funny thing was I was so jealous of motion sickness, and I ended up working there. They were such legends. I really love working with those guys. But if you're in your early 20s, like, I mean, even if you have dependents, you can still do it. Just go for it. Like you can live off nothing. And if you fail, you just go get a job.
Yeah.
Like I just go for it. But you know, get as much help as you can. Don't worry about it being perfect. I'm certainly in that state now where I do suffer from perfectionism, but now that we're creating our own product and I've got no budget and it's just all coming out of the little capital I've got left, you just have to move. You know, you just like make something, get it out to a few people, ask them for feedback, because that's generally what people want to do. They want to just like go, oh, like sell it and just let it go. And I'm like, no, like let them tell you what it is. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise you're going to have a crappy product
Yeah.
and people aren't going to tell you what they don't like about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think New Zealand's got a really cool culture of like innovation. You know, we can really, I don't know, we're not closed in by this is how things should go, like in America and things like that. We're like, oh, well, I noticed that with film and TV. Like I was hanging out in LA with a friend of mine and he had a mate there that had written a script and he's like, yeah, I'm just trying to like get someone to like fund it and do it. I'm like, bro, just go make it. Just get a couple mates and just go film it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's sort of what we've grown up with, like Taika and all that. It's like, well, let's just go and make it.
Yeah.
And I think, I think those young entrepreneurs, if you can actually just go and make something. Services anyone can get into. That's why I got into it. Doesn't cost you anything. I got a $4,000 loan from my brother, $2,000 into a laptop and $2,000 into branding and website, and I'm on. You know, and then I'm sending invoices straight away.
Crazy.
You know, so if you're doing services, you can get straight into it. And we're in a really cool period now where there's like Launder, for example, they're doing laundry services. There's a lot of like car detailing, all these really low entry services. But if you can come in and do it really sick, then you can like take the market quite quickly. And if you're good at socials, which most Gen Z are, because that's what we're referring to, then you can grow it for free. There's free media, you know? So I think it's a cool time for people to go out on their own when they're young.
It is, and I think you touched on that. And I completely agree, bro. There's so many like stale industries out there. Is do you say launder? Is that the like dry cleaning? Yeah, bro, they are sick. Like the content. Do you do a podcast with them? Yeah. I think I saw that podcast and I was like looking into them and man, just revolutionizing like the feel, the style, the delivery of like dry cleaning. Like who would think of entering that space? You know 100%. What I mean?
Yeah. Just make it scucks.
Yeah.
Whatever you do. You know?
Make it scucks.
I think it's what I'm really loving is seeing how people are realizing it's not just like what you're doing on your computer and trying to hack the system. It's like, no, the real life stuff is actually more important, much more important. And we've moved through this digital phase and I think we're going much more to experience-based stuff now, right? So if you're working in services, what's your experience with the customer? How do you look? How do you talk? You know, I used to love it at Les Mills when you'd go in and they'd say hi to every individual person. But then when you go to a different gym, they didn't do that. And that's just one way to improve the experience. And that's why Les Mills is the bomb. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Very true. I think especially in like the age of like AI and everything being automated, it's easy for organizations to lose that like personal touch where things are a bit more sort of binary. Bro, so take me back to like I guess the first 3 to 6 months of starting Academy Agency. Like why did you choose a like in-house creative agency that does marketing and production as the business model? Like what was the drive behind that? What were the first sort of like 3 to 6 months looking like for you, bro?
I was just super handy on Facebook ads. Reason being, most of the other people that are doing Facebook ads like kind of got into it as they did like a course you could buy online, and they liked the numbers side of it. They thought it was all numbers. Whereas I came in with a marketing degree, a nice good brand background. Like I love brand, I've always loved fashion, and then you combine that with the sort of the gamification of paid ads. I just was a bit of a weapon. Like at Timely, I think that they had 2% of their sales leads were coming through socials. When I started, within 6 months, it was up to 20%.
Yeah.
And that's for a SaaS tech product,
Yeah.
right? And then when I went to Motion Sickness, just had the same sort of success with food boxes, fashion brands. And I realized, I was like, oh, I'm not in a niche. Like my niche is the marketing, you know, and it's by applying good brand and just like, hey, let's make it like more of a creative direction approach to what was sort of like a Nintendo style form of advertising, you know?
True.
And I was like, oh, I could be any of those digital marketers because they're just a bit like nerdy on it. And I'll just come and be a bit more skux on it.
Yeah.
And you combine it and then it's on, you know? So I was just good at that. And at the time, that's what brands really wanted. You know, they were happy to pay a pretty good rate for it. So I just did the Facebook ads. So the first couple of years was that. But the first 3 to 6 months was beautiful. And I think it just goes to show like the human condition. People rally around startups. They go, oh, you're doing that? Oh, I know someone. And you're going to get this 3 to 6 month window where everyone's throwing you work. And it's so cool. Yeah. Some of it's not quite the right fit, but I just got thrown work. And I've seen that with other people. I know it's not just me. Like, and my main thing was like reputation is my biggest currency, you know, like, so if I do really good work and I'm a nice person to deal with and I'm organized, and for an ADHD person, I'm super organized. I'm a Virgo. If I can do that, then I'll be able to A, bump the price up as I go, and B, they'll refer me. So for 5 years, I never advertised. And yeah, it's all word of mouth.
True.
Yeah. I did like a couple of Facebook ads. I was like, that's not working.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the cool thing about that is the word of mouth you got was generally someone who like they want what you do, rather than when you advertise, you're on your knees groveling.
Yeah.
I've never liked that.
Yeah.
I'm like a bit of a like I'm the man. Like I'm like, nah, I know I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
Even going for jobs, if I saw other people applying, I'm like, nah. I'll go somewhere that's not looking for someone and I'll apply there.
True.
It's pretty arrogant, but like
he's him.
But that's the
and he's
what you've got to be. It's the Skux approach to marketing. No, I mean I use that word, but it's just about making it cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's sort of how I look at it.
And so I guess across those 5 years, bro, like, can you speak on the size of the company? Like, what sort of numbers were you doing? How many clients did you have?
Yeah, well, we did like the first year we did 180 grand, which I was like, whoa,
man.
So
and that was just you?
Yeah. Some contractors coming in and out, and that was probably the best year. That's probably, you know, because I had very little costs, and then we doubled every year on that, and then we sort of peaked last year at like 1 mil ARR for 1 month.
Yo, that's pretty
with
mean.
five staff and no one worked past 5 p.m.
Yep.
Really slick systems. But then I just sort of took a step back and I looked at other agencies. I was like, well, do any of them ever sell this thing? They don't. And I'd had that time at Timely, right? So that was beautiful because I was in that tech world and I could see you could grow something and sell it.
Yeah, products.
You know, I think they sold it for. So I was like, where is this going? I don't want to. I'm always looking 5 years ahead, and you do. Is I think maybe that's from being a young father. I'm like, okay, well, I got to set this up for the next 5 years, and I'm sort of always looking at things like that. So that's sort of where we got to, and we're working with some of New Zealand's best brands, you know. But over since July last year, it's just been all downhill, bro. You know, we're doing 80 grand a month, which is $1 million a year, and then within 3 months, it was down to 25, and I had 5 mouths to feed. Yeah, you know, so I cut my salary for a month, and I got it back to half, and that's meaning there's no money staying in my account. That's just, you know, there's $450 a week that covers my rent and my daughter's, and then 200 on support. So there's $600 a week. Then you start to look at your salary, what you can spend. Yeah, and I was just like, well, I'm not going to be the dummy that's just going to keep going on this. Like, some of the biggest brands we're working with in New Zealand, you'd think have the budget. They don't. They were ripping out budget. And then you're working with these other pretty cool brands that you've pretty much given a future, triple them, and this is multiple, that would just then go and break the contract. And they're like, well, they're not going to do anything because you're tiny. You know, and it's a shame because people I used to work for, some of them, you know, and I was like, you come in as the guy who knows the thing, so you're kind of you're kind of the smarty, but actually the way that brands treat agency or small agency is they take the piss, man. They treat you like shit, and I really didn't like that, you know, and like, I can't blame them in some situations, you know. Our problem was we would scale them. They would hire a CMO, a chief marketing officer, or a marketing manager, and they'd go, well, I can run this now.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to like put something in there that wouldn't allow them to get to that stage. It's like, no, like if I'm based on reputation, I'm scaling the heck out of everyone. And our track record's pretty epic.
Yeah. Yeah. And the business model itself, were you like doing a sort of like retainer model? How did that work?
Yeah, retainers. Yeah. So I think we started on like our first client was $500 a month, and then you just try to whack on another 500 for the next guy. Yeah. And then another 500. And
then you get a gauge on the pricing.
Yeah. And then I found there's a pretty good medium at $2,500 a month for just Facebook ads. And I was like, okay, well that's not enough. So then we started adding on influencer marketing. And then content, and then that sort of, you just get that retainer up double and triple, but you don't really need to expand your team. But I tell you what, we took the hardest model. Like we did everything a major agency does with 5 people.
Crazy.
So I had to be in everything. It's pretty hard to find unicorn staff that can do content writing, customer service, like, you know, client relations and everything else. So I realized, like, when we got to that point, I was like, nah, this model is it's not going to grow. It's just a self-indulgent thing that I want to do all these campaigns to see how big I can get these brands. Because it was just a game. It was a game for me. And I'm like, okay, well, if I want to get that brand to 10x, what pack do I buy? What shield, you know? Like, and then for me, it's quite simple. I just add those into the equation, and then I can get these brands to massive heights. But that was brilliant for them, but crap for me. But when I do look back on it, it really sharpened my blade. I was like, I know how to scale pretty much every industry. I mean, there's some I wouldn't, but every industry that's quite common in New Zealand, I've worked in and I've done well in. Some I haven't. Retail's difficult.
True, retail.
Yeah, that's the hardest.
Why's that?
Because they don't have their own brand. They don't sell their own product. I'd say I've not succeeded in the retail game. I've done better than what they were doing, but it's so hard. You really need to be selling your own product, your own branded stuff, because the margin's so much higher. So then you have more to go into budget. But then people wanting to connect with things. So you're not really connecting with window fronts and facades anymore. They, you know, it's like, yes, there can be a vibe in a shop for sure, but to make someone loyal just because you got a good vibe in a shop is like a massive ask. And it's quite interesting because you look at brands like New Balance, right? 5 years ago, maybe a bit more, they didn't have their own website, e-com store here.
Oh, true.
You know, so you had to go to Good as Gold or other shops around New Zealand to get those shoes. Now, I was just talking to my mate Jock yesterday. I was like, where'd you get them? And he's like, I tried them on here and I bought them direct from New Balance. It's killing New Zealand's economy and retail. So they have it really hard. Like, I mean, I really admire the brands that are still doing it and they can make some money, but it's not like it used to be. So you kind of definitely need to be making at least a capsule that's your retail brand, and start to build a connection and allow them to wear your jersey, you know, like your flag. So retail's definitely been the hardest.
True. That's tricky. The way that you just said it then, I'm like, fuck, you're so right. Especially with like online shopping and everything, like you can just take away that involvement from the retailer. Bro, Tell me about some of like the hardest moments, and we'll go to what you're doing now, but especially with Academy Agency. Like, what were some of the darkest days that you had?
Oh, bro, it's easily when you've got these big contracts, 130 grand a year or something, and then they just go, "Hey, we're actually going to cut that, and we're not even going to give you 4 weeks. It's actually going to happen now." Fuck. And you're like, well, that's that's 2 staff or staff and a half. Where's that going to come from? And so it's just this gutting feeling. It's like, and I think for me, I wear my heart in my throat. My heart sits in my throat because I'm a creative and my focus is on people. I'm pretty in tune with people, micro movements and all that stuff. So when you blend that tough side of client management, because I'm doing both, I never had a co-founder, which was probably the biggest mistake. When you have to do the work side and that side, bro, like losing a client for me was the biggest rejection, horrible feeling ever. And to the credit of some of my clients I had, they were fending off board members to keep me for years. Clothing and Stolen Girlfriends Club held on to me for way longer than they needed. And credit to the guys there. Because there, I was basing it all on loyalty. I was just actually saying about the retail. I was basing it all on loyalty. I'm good to work with. I'll walk over broken glass to get their stuff out the door. Yeah. So that should keep me on. Yeah. But we worked some brands 3-5 years. So 3 or 4 years. Oh, Stolen. I worked with them for 6 years. And yeah, those are some of the toughest days. And then sometimes you go down like a little bit of a legal battle. Yeah. And I was
like breach of contract sort of stuff?
Yeah,
or?
I was like, I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
It toxifies your whole body, your whole mind, and it just takes over me. And I've got staff to be a good buzz for, clients to be a good buzz for, strategies to work out, ideas to come up with. And it takes you out of it, So when you're on the up, it's sick. And then when you lose clients, that's the hardest one, especially because what I realized was, okay, actually, when I get a bigger client, all it means is bigger risk. And it leaves me open for, more vulnerability as a business. And I was like, oh, that's actually not quite the right idea. What you want is many small ones, kind of, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Shit. I can't even imagine. And I think especially operating within like a creative agency, being service-based, like there's a real limit on your capacity to work with different clients, eh? Because like the challenge of scale becomes really, really tough. I mean, like how did you personally handle that, bro? Like when things were firing, things were going great, and then you've just been blindsided by, a few big clients having to leave. Like what weight did that put on you personally, and how did you overcome it?
I'd say in the early years, I didn't handle it very well. Like when I first started, you look forward to that Friday beer, and then it became a Thursday beer, and then a Wednesday afternoon beer, because you just can't handle the stress. And that was definitely the worst way to go about it, But, didn't have a partner and things like that, so no one's really keeping an eye on you. Drinking.
Yeah.
Definitely drank way too much. Then as you some of those scenarios have happened a few times, so they don't hit you as hard. Second or third time, whatever, and I think getting into the 3rd, 4th, 5th year, it's just like layering that exercise in. This year especially, this has been the toughest 12 months of my life. I'd say it's been tougher than having a child at 17,
True.
18. Yeah, 100%. Like I think this has really pushed all the work. I do a lot of work on myself, mental work. There's a lot going on up there, and I'm pretty proud of where I'm at with that stuff and the things I've had to deal with. But this year, I finally started the morning workout thing. Game changer. Because you kind of come into work a little bit tired, which is good for me. And But how did I deal, bro? I absorbed a lot of it, bro. I'm a
Mm.
real duck on water,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm. The
I
legs
absorb,
underneath.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what the answer is to it because you do just have to solve the problem,
Yeah.
you know, and you have to just move forward. And you don't want your team to be impacted by your negative vibe, although I'm not
Mm.
immune to that. And
Mm.
certainly in the last 12 months, I've definitely been not the character I would love to have been, just a bit moody sometimes,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, I'm lucky to have awesome parents. I talk
Mm.
to my brother a lot,
Mm.
my parents a lot, and the shared space, bro.
Mm.
You know, DOA. Wow, we went through stuff for 3 years.
Mm.
Oh, this has happened, and then they would have a perspective on it, and then cool. Like to say anything to someone getting into businesses, get in a shared space.
Mm.
Like as soon as you can, man, because it ain't about the money.
Yeah.
It's about like making something sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but what you actually get a really high return from being in a shared space.
Yeah.
That is one.
Yeah.
Being able to just go, oh, dude,
Yeah.
you know, there's no shame in there. Like we're all battling.
Mm.
We're all battlers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
surrounding yourself with people and talking about it more and more and more. I think from having Amelie so young, that taught me to talk to people.
Mm.
I'd certainly never talked to anyone before that.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through depression from about 18 to about 22,
Mm-hmm.
going to uni, working, getting smashed after work, and just like not doing any exercise because I was real bitter that I had to give up my rugby career.
Mm.
So when I got to France, I was 72 kilos, and I got up to 80 kilos on the mass gainer.
Big boy.
Yeah, and when I came back and had Amelie, I lost 8 kilos in 2 weeks.
Wow.
All of that hard work, 8 months of training.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never going in a gym again.
True.
Now, and it took me about 8 years to get back in the gym. I started running a bit, but never got back in the gym. Now I'm in the gym and I'm loving it.
Yes, man.
Yeah, but I was like, F you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, those like internal demons you sort of battle every single day, eh? And even though you know what's going to be good for you in that moment, it's really easy just to shy it away and be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to go to the gym this morning.
Yeah.
Not going to exercise or fucking, do whatever, like whatever those vices are. Even though you know it's counterintuitive to your own well-being. It's weird.
It's really hard. And if you like live on your own, like I have flatmates, but they're, you know, from Flatmates Wanted. People don't see, your colleagues and your family don't see the darkness.
Yeah.
They don't see that you didn't get out of bed till 4 p.m. or something, and then you kind of get in on Monday and you're there. But yeah, I mean, you gotta be. I wouldn't start another business without a missus. Like I would not do it as a young solo male with a child who had no family living in Auckland. Like my parents live in Tauranga. I wouldn't do that again. It was kind of risky, bro. You know. Yeah, it was tough phase. I think what you learn is, I took 6 months off drinking last year.
Man.
That was mean.
How did that feel? Like,
It was buzzy.
Must
'cause
be great.
I hadn't stopped drinking since I was 16 years old.
nah, so when you really think about it, eh?
Yeah, I'm
It's
an Irish
like-
Catholic.
Yeah.
Right, that's all I knew. Dad playing guitar, everyone drinking beers, and you know. So that was a really interesting one to recalibrate my behavior, my routine. And I learned how to go into the weekend and go, oh, I'll watch a movie and get Uber Eats. Like that's enough of a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
So that was really awesome to kind of get that in my back pocket. I know I'm kind of embarrassed and ashamed to even say it now that I look back on it, that it took me to like 30 years old to work out how to enjoy a weekend without alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still enjoy it now, and I've just got to watch it when you're highly stressed, because that's when you
It's a coping mechanism, eh?
you get blackout too.
Yeah.
'Cause your brain is just running at 8,000 reps.
Yeah.
And you just got to really keep an eye on it.
Yeah, big time, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same. I did with a couple of the boys. We did that like 75 hard challenge.
Yeah.
which was mean, and like that was the first time since I was probably 18, 17. We actually just had a full on, and it was only 75 days, but just not a touch of alcohol, and fuck, you feel so good,
Bro.
You feel so good. You
remember-
just think clearly. It's great. Like professionally, you show up.
Yeah.
In your relationships, you show up.
That's actually where we scaled the business the most, was in that 6 months. I kind of did it because I knew we were scaling. I was like, oh, I can't have, it's just too tough right now. You know, I can't wing it anymore. I remember driving down Lake Road and just going, wow, I haven't been this happy since I was 16. You know, just pure happiness. And I actually feel like that now, you know, after all that doom and gloom chat. I'm actually in the best place I've ever been. Like, and I think it's because I'm building my own thing.
Yeah.
You know, when you're an agency, you don't actually work for yourself. You actually just work for 10 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And so I worked my ass off well. We performed well. I worked my ass off. Although I never really worked weekends and never really worked late, by the way.
Good, bro.
Yeah.
That's great. It's good to hear a founder say that.
Yeah, nah, you don't have
like
to. I don't think you have to.
Badge of honor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we always delivered most stuff, pretty much everything on time. To a really high standard. Really good systems, good comms. But my dad, he never worked after 5. He always took Thursday off. Because he sort of didn't see his dad too much because he was in the butcher shop in Rotorua. And, so I've had a good role model and dad on that. So I'm like, all right, well, the thing is, if I did work at night, I can't, you know, it's too much. You burn out. I work kind of fast. I don't dilly-dally. So when I'm at work, it's 7 hours or 8 hours of like good work. Yeah. Although I'm a bit more fucking over the show at the moment. But yeah, right now, like, so I worked, you know, 5 years. You should be able to sell something at 5 years. You know, you should. And then, you know, these clients drop off. Okay, I've literally just got reputation and better XP points. That's what I've got. Nothing to sell. Nothing. I was like, I'm not doing another 5 years of this. Yeah. Like what I build now, I have to be able to sell in 5 years' time. I also read 10x is easier than 2x. Have you heard of that book?
No, I haven't. Tell me about it.
It'll make you broke like me. It's basically the premise of the book, and it's amazing, is that if you want a 2x, you just have to work harder. And that's what I'd done. I was like, well, this is so bang on. We just doubled every year. Yeah. But if you want a 10x, you have to go find another route. And I was like, okay, well, look, where are we now? We're a marketing agency. We sell services. If I want to get to $10 million, how would I get there? Well, I'm certainly not doing it through people power, because I know high risk, you lose people, you have to train people, they get poached. Yeah. All our staff get poached by like old clients. Yeah. Which is kind of cool because it means they know that I train good people. Yeah.
It's also like, come on, mate.
I know. But whatever. It's a pretty small country, eh?
Yeah, it's the game.
Nah, it's a game. So you got to work out, okay, how can I get to 10 million? And I was like, okay, well, I'm not starting fresh. I'm not going to come up with the next brilliant oat milk protein
in a bloom. Shout out, Ollie.
Which is an amazing journey. I love following that one.
Fucking cool, eh? Bootstrapping a beverage company.
That's amazing. Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, what do I have? So what do I have? I have marketing IP. I have marketing intellectual property. Can I sell that? And so that's where we're at now, in-house. And I'm building a marketing school, selling online courses, and then tools, which is like Notion, templates, and things like that. The things that I've been able to run 10 to 12 clients on with 5 staff not working past 5 p.m. So they're mean. And I'm like, got that Virgo, like, about I love systems and flow, and and that's actually what I love the most. 2 things I love: systems and flow. It's like a good kickflip. You know what I mean? Bro.
Nice catch.
Yeah, that's what I love. No point in doing a kickflip if it doesn't look good. You know, and so I'm all about Steve's flow. So that goes into my corporate systems. And then the other thing I like, because it's my strength, is talking and presenting and you know, like a schmooze. You know, that's what worked well, schmoozing and client relations and things like that, because that's what I was quite good at. So I've gone, okay, if I love these 2 things, that's what I'm going to build. No, I've reverse engineered from what I'm good at and what I like. And that's why in-house is this. I wasn't like, oh, let's do a marketing school. I actually worked backwards from what gives you a good life? What makes your brain tick? And let's build something around that. Because what I did before was build something. Can you do it? Yep, work your ass off. Cool. But is any of this benefiting you?
Mm.
Financially, no.
Mm.
And mental health wise, no.
Yeah.
But when you are operating at that caliber of like 10 brands and you're pitching cool stuff and you're getting them mean wins, you're just doubling their sales, it's a cool feeling.
Pretty scucks.
Pretty cool feeling.
It's pretty scucks.
But then you're like, but I should be doing this for myself.
So you've closed off the academy agency, and now you've just gone all in with in-house. What do you see like the future potential for in-house, bro? Obviously, like productizing the, you know, like all of your intellectual property, scale will be a lot more accessible for you. But like, I guess like, what are your sort of like 3 to 5 year goals when it comes to in-house, and like, what's that problem you're trying to solve?
Yeah. So I'm also reading a great book called B 2.0, which is beyond entrepreneurship. It's about building a great company. And one thing in that I learned that was like a major moment for me was your mission, right? So I always thought it was a mission statement. It had to be this one thing that could last like 50 years. It's actually not that. It's the current mission, right? So our current mission is profitability, which is about 25 grand a month, right? If I want to do all the content creation, pay some people. So my current mission is profitability. So I'll do that for as long as I can, you know, like let's get to that. We're documenting it day by day, which is pretty ruthless from a confidence point of view.
I'm liking that content.
Oh, sometimes, bro.
Tell the people really quickly what you're doing with that sort of like transparency on.
So what I'm doing is the hook is, this is day 1 of scaling my marketing school to 25 grand a month. And at the end of the video, I post a screenshot of my Shopify sales for the day. And it's like $1,500, bro, for the month. Today's one's going to be 2 grand though.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
But I'm confident in it, you know, and I know it's going to get there, but I also know that that's like a pretty cool thing to follow. And to be honest, like, look, I know I'm good at what I do. I know I'm fit and healthy and I'm a nice person. So like, I don't care about losing face. All good. I think I'm doing all right, you know? So I don't care about being broke because I feel like I've always been broke. You know, some people are like, especially in Auckland, because I'm from Wellington, right? Like, we're a very working class country. I grew up very working class, and we don't care for big flash cars too much. Taste, yes, but money, no, right? And so when you go to Auckland, where I live now, it is a bit more money and less taste. I think more style in Wellington for sure, you know, and cars and things like that. And so quite a few people be like, "Oh, you're brave, bro," and I'm like, "I don't care, dog. This is my like come up story, and you've seen it from day one. Let's go." Like, but it's not a new model, right? Like the coaching thing. Well, sorry, I don't do coaching. Well, my rule is, I'm not selling my time, right? Because I've done that for 5 years, right? And I keep getting pulled into do coaching or consulting, and I do have a couple of small clients who are legends. And I just do 1 meeting a month with them. But I have to draw a line in the sand that is not coaching. It's not me. I will not do coaching. As soon as I do that, because for me, that's actually the drug. That's easy. I can go out and start charging $500 an hour or get a 4 grand retainer, 10 grand. We just had to we've probably turned away 250 grand worth of work in the last 3 months.
Wow. Because you're staying true to this mission.
Yeah, which is pretty tough, bro.
Damn.
You know, but I know it's not scalable and it's not where I want to be. It's not 10 mil. You know? Which sounds bullshit, and I'm sorry. But
bro, I love it.
You got to set those goals, eh?
That's cool.
And it's like the working class Wellington in me is like, you can't say shit like that.
No, bro, it's a little like tall poppy voice creeping in.
It is,
like,
yeah.
You can't say your goals out loud, and I'm just so like against that, bro. Like I also love the content of being like really transparent around finances.
That's what people want to know,
bro. They do, and it's been this taboo subject for so long. Everyone wants to know.
And I mean, there's a little bit of zero money coming in that's not on there, but
but no, man, it's awesome. I think as like a true entrepreneur, you've like pivoted, iterated, and like adapted a new model and a new offering.
Thank you.
Just from like listening to, you know, what your clients are saying and what the market is doing. I think that's real commendable, bro. Because I think for a lot of people, losing 3 big clients like what you did at Academy, they're like, could have just been like, sweet, closing shop. Like this is scared the fuck out of me for business ever again. But yeah, do you feel like you hold more risk now or less risk now? Because you're just sort of like building up the machine again.
Bro, now that I know I'm building an asset, an appreciating asset, I don't give a fuck about anything. That's my thing. This is my thing, bro. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
For the last 5 years, I never felt confident in the agency. But to be honest, I didn't start the agency because I wanted to start an agency. I started the agency because I needed to make more money than I was on. And that's what I was doing at the time. I always wanted to get into tech after Timely. That's the one.
Yeah.
Like scale, international, multiple markets. I studied international business as well, and I studied French, and I wanted to live in the world, right? And so working with domestic clients based in New Zealand was cool, but it took me a long time to get used to that. I want to take over the world. I want to be around the world. I want to create change as well. I want positive impact. And I think one of the things that's a big driving force behind in-house is that I can give these startups the tools to actually take from startup to a scale up where you can actually pay yourself. And that's sick. Like I can help as many people as possible as opposed to just 10 high paying clients.
That's right.
And, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And I'm quite stoic around only let things bother you for which you can control. So I don't really let the stuff get to me.
Yeah.
But it's not to say that I don't want to have an impact on the world.
Yeah.
And I think for me, this feels like it's actually that, you know, like I'm starting in New Zealand now, but I'm going to Aussie next month and I'm just going to do these pop-ups. So I did one today, just spoke at this cool shared space, Sector 22 in Wellington. There's 10 people there, you know, and I'm just going to keep going. And for me, it's like busking, right? Yeah. How do big musicians get massive? Yeah. They start playing on the street. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And I'm just going to go do it in a shared space in Melbourne where my brother lives at the Commons. I'm going to try to tee that up. I'm just going to keep talking round and round and round until those events get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then that funnels towards this product I've got, you know.
And you got the podcast.
And the podcast is awesome.
Brother. Yeah, you know? Love your work there.
I just like, I'm a fish in water. I'm talking about culture, business, and the tough stuff. Yeah. You know, how cool is that? Yeah, yeah. Bro, I have to like tone down my mic because I was like, listen back to one the other day. I'm like, bro, I'm screaming down that thing. Yeah.
That's sick, bro. That's awesome. I mean, like, what does your standard week look like now, bro? Like, what does your sort of Monday through to Sunday look like on a typical week for Harry?
I love the morning, right? Like, I love the morning routine. I think it was since COVID, but I've always been like almost spectrumy about morning routine, and if it doesn't happen, I'm quite out of whack, and then I can't get into the day. So now it's wake up at 6 or something, have a coffee, and then I read for half an hour, 45 minutes.
Nice. No screen time?
I'll probably sit on my phone for 20 minutes in bed. Yeah. Being completely honest, but I'm trying to cut that down.
Nice. I'm the same. Don't worry.
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah. Then I get up, and then I've never been a reader. And in lockdown, I was like, no, I want to be well read. I respect well read people, but because of the ADHD, I can't really read. Like, I mean, I can read. I don't have the dyslexic side, but I read the same line over and over, and then I'm thinking about something else. So it's really difficult to get into that flow state of reading. So I thought, well, I'm just going to do an hour every day, and I started that in 2020. It takes me 6 months to get through a book. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yes.
You see my bookshelf could probably fit in like the mug drawer, you know, like it takes me so long to get through them. But yeah, so then I read for an hour and then I go to the gym. And yeah, do a lot of either a weights or a cardio one and go 50-50. Yeah. Get into the gym, get into work at 9 o'clock, work till 5, walk the dog. That's actually been really beautiful, An hour every day walking the dog. And then what I've been enjoying lately is cooking. Well, I do enjoy cooking, but like cooking slowly. Like, because I worked in hospitality for years, and it's always about like being as fast as you can and everything coming together at once. Yeah. But now I podcast on just chop slow.
True. Therapeutic.
Yeah, it is. It's wind down.
Yeah.
And then I'm on the Netflix for 3 hours, bro. I swear to God. I love movies. I love TV shows.
Yeah.
Action is relaxing.
True.
Thrillers are relaxing.
Yeah.
And then bed by 10:30.
Man, that's pretty late. Yeah. It's pretty late. I'm asleep early as
Yeah, I probably I've got a Whoop, and that tracks my. But I'm a 5 or 6 hours, bro.
Yeah. And you can
7 on a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone's like, you're gonna die. I'm like, oh.
The Whoop's like, you're in the red zone, mate.
Yeah, I nap though.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a napper, bro.
Don't mind
I had a nap just before.
Yo.
Dan Carter used to nap before his games. I'm like, good enough for him, good enough for me.
Yeah, big time. I feel like some people are or they're not. I don't mind the good. Like, I don't mind the nap. They do the job.
The soldiers used to do it in bloody Turkey, bro. But you don't even have to sleep. You just have to close your eyes.
Yeah. I feel like anything for me that's like longer than like 20 minutes if I have a nap, I'm just like, fuck,
delirious.
Feel hungover, right?
Yeah. 10 to 15, 10 minutes is great.
Yeah, little power nap.
Yeah.
Bro, I saw as well that you saw like my biggest podcast inspiration, Stephen Bartlett.
Oh yeah.
Diary of a CEO. Bro, tell me about that situation. So you met him at one of his events in NZ.
Yeah.
What was that like? Bro, he's the man.
He's amazing. Yeah. Oh, well, I do sometimes I think he's a bit of a wanker, but I think he's also the man. Like, I'm like, bro, don't ask that question. That's too early. But
he goes right into it, eh?
And he also is like, oh, my businesses, all my brands. I'm like, bro, I'll tone it down. But that's probably just the Kiwi like humility on me. Yeah. But no, he is the man, bro. I love him. I just finished his book, which someone bought for me for Christmas. And
I'm still reading that. It's taken me like 14 months.
Oh yeah, there we go, eh? So I just finished his book, and then he was here doing his talk, and I was like, oh, bro, I'm getting meet and greet on that, like 100%, because he owns part of Whoop. And I was like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to pitch him. So most of the people on the line, actually the lady in front of me was Anna Mowbray. And
True, the billionaire.
I went last.
Was she in line?
She was in front of me in the line, and I was just like last because I wanted to have the most time with him.
Smart.
Yeah. So I made sure I went last. And then but I was so nervous. So anyway, walked up, and everyone had prepared a question. Like, oh, this is my problem, and he answered it like a guru or something. And I didn't read the memo because I like often skim. You know, I didn't read it at all. So I get up there and he's like, so what's your problem? And I was like, oh, nothing, bro. But this is who I am. So I went in with the hook. I was like, my name's Harry. I had an agency. I had a child when I was 17. Boom. I was like, he's like, oh, and I did like a video hook, you know.
Nice.
And I said, I've got this idea for work. This is it. And I just went through this concept I had for a video. And he goes, mate, that sounds bloody brilliant. Like, you know, get that to us and we'll see if we can get it to our team. And then we just talked, and then I sort of walked away, and I was like, oh wait, I think I just did the wrong thing. I was supposed to ask him a question. I was like, damn. And then I was like, I do have a question, but I was like, I can't go back now.
Yeah.
But he was great. He was such a nice guy, and hung out, like, you know, shook his hand and that. But yeah, I really admire him. I really like his format. I like how his craft is intellect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's definitely ADHD as well. And you can tell by him needing to work in these different projects all at once.
Yeah.
And he's got a few Kiwis working for him now, eh?
True.
Yeah. And the Flight Story, which is their podcast thing.
Yeah.
It's 2 Kiwis working for him.
That's mean.
So there's a little bit of an in there, people.
Yeah, that's sick. He's I think with Stephen, he's definitely got that like intellect, eh? And I always feel like with his work, I don't know, it's always incredibly polished, but you can just tell that he's got that like meticulous attention to detail.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the stuff that he posts online, and he's like everything down to like the lighting, the temperature in the podcast studio, like everything's it will be an absolute perfectionist.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people you know, you can see how he got so successful, if you know what I mean.
100%. Yeah. And I mean, it's freak because he's like similar age, you know, I think he's 32, 33 or something. And he started in marketing as well, marketing agency, same as me. But he was in London, so they got some big contracts early, and I think that's so awesome because that's enabled them to then, you know, it's just way bigger ticket. Like if you're really good here, it's still a pretty small ticket compared to the UK or the US. Yeah. And that's sort of one thing I saw was like, even if you're the man, it's nothing like scale over there, you know.
Just the sum of people.
But
and stuff, eh?
yeah. I mean, I love the guests he gets on, the questions he asks. He's ballsy. I really like how he brokered the mental health conversation. He kind of gets it in about 3/4 of the way through, and it did get to a point where I was like, he's just trying to make him cry, and I think he's pulled it back a little bit, you know, because that's what he was known for, and it was his thing. But no, I think he's like an awesome idol or whatever, you know.
Yeah, he's fucking cool. Yeah. And in his book, he mentions about like the best marketing decision he ever made when he was running his like marketing agency, being that massive slide that he installed. Yeah. Like on that note, bro, do you think your slide is like your academy sort of attire?
Oh, well, you tell me.
I reckon there could be something to it. And I've tried to like keep the dress uniform.
Yeah.
For this
so I'm actually in costume.
Yeah. Tell us about that, bro.
But it's Stockholm Syndrome. I've actually started to enjoy my costume. So like when we establish in-house, we do this process called world building, and you work out what your costume is, what your props are, your setting, what you talk about, and the characters. And so Zoe and I spent a while like on Pinterest looking up cool teacher was sort of the thing. I love ASAP Rocky's style. Just try to copy him, but I don't have the money to do what he does. But he was wearing blazers and jeans, so sick, and ties, like, and caps. Oh, I was like, that he for me is like George Clooney cool, you know. Well, he is ASAP cool. He's his own level, you know. So then when we were shooting our earlier content, it was cool. Well, chuck the tie on and the baseball cap and the shirt, you know. And Zoe was doing it too, and like for me, I didn't feel like a big blue slide, but more like a mean layer, you know. Like, whoa, that's kind of interesting, you know. But I would say our big blue slide was actually our big blue berets. We made this video about the Blues rugby team, and the premise was if I was a marketing manager for the Blues, this is what I would do. And I'd been to every Blues game that year, so I'd been like writing the script for a year basically. This is what I'd do. And AI, image generation, had just come about, so I could actually take the ideas that I had. I was like, older Samoan woman wearing a blue beret, 2 young girls wearing a blue beret, and then it came to life, bro. So I had this script that was based on real life experience of this is what rugby could do, because it was a really big problem. The stadium's only selling 13% of the tickets. Poor, yeah. I'm like, I could sell that out. Yeah. I could sell it out. And it's just about doing the extras, not just making it about rugby. And the Warriors have figured that out. So let's do other things. A cool beret, like girls and guys would get into it. Yeah, it's not Kiwi. It's not supposed to be, mate. You know, it's supposed to be a foreign thing. And then after years, it'll become normal. But if we just do bucket hats, everyone's doing that. Yeah. Marketing's easy. You just do what they're not doing. That's it. That's all you do. And then I was like, big blue cups. And I'd just been to LA and been to the Dodger Stadium. And that perfect photo prop, you know? So here we are going costume, props. And then I was like, bring the games forward so you can get kids in there. And then actually do a big kids play area, you know, with like noises and bunting and all these things. That video went crazy. Over TikTok and Instagram for us, you know, over 100,000 views on each video. Yep. And so many comments because everyone wanted to weigh in on what they thought live rugby should be. Yeah. Oh, it exploded. We were like, whoa, look at this. So the 2 things. 1, put us in front of a lot of people. But 2, it said to me, oh, why don't we make ourselves go viral? Because we'd never really made our own content, only for clients. True. Some like real quick, like not thought out stuff. I was like, holy, I can actually do something with this. The only reason I was able to do it is because I lost 3 clients and I had spare time. And so that was an indicator that I could actually grow my own thing. Yeah. And not necessarily that made me heaps of money, but it made the decision that could maybe make me heaps of money in the future, you know? And I'll just end on this. I just went to the All Blacks Australia game. What did they have? 4 o'clock game. They had the kids zone, all this stuff out the back. Like, bro, I swear to God, they watched the video.
Probably, yeah. Fucking.
Everyone who played Super Rugby saw it. A lot of people told me they saw it. I know that one of the owners for the Blues saw it because
The marketing manager is just like writing that down.
Yeah, it's not even the funny thing is it's actually not the Blues marketing manager. It's Rugby NZRU or whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm like, get me on as a consultant.
Bro, you
I'll
can
sell
change it up.
I'll sell that stadium out.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's
There's something with like NZ sports crowds, particularly in rugby. And like you go overseas. When I was over in London, we went to the Black Ferns versus Ireland in Brighton. And it was so sick. Like it was in a sort of football stadium, so like the seats are way closer to the field. There's way more energy, and obviously the Irish are like singing, they're proud, and just really like a lively atmosphere. Then you go to like Cairns, even like Wellington Phoenix, and everyone's kind of just stuck to their seats and like a bit too afraid to actually, I don't know, fully stand up and like get into it. It's some weird Kiwi thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's also things that have killed it, like council. There's
the Sevens.
Yeah.
Sevens is gone.
Yeah, there was a particular person that was driving that as well, and people know who it is. That killed it.
Yeah.
You know, they killed the culture, and you know, unfortunately, we have backtracked on so many of those things. But I think we're at the start of a whole new wave, which is so sick. I think we're at the start of the biggest, or slightly getting into it, the biggest cultural movement of the century.
True.
I believe
With
so.
content or
With everything.
Yeah.
Music, festivals, everyone's pushing the limits, everyone's pushing the boundaries on experience. Like, it's such an exciting time to be our age, to be able to do something and be involved in it.
Yeah.
Music, like, I think the last 20 years have been probably stale. Now, with COVID and a recession in New Zealand and cost of living and all of this stuff, from the darkest times become the brightest, days. So I think, and it happened in the 20s as well, 1920s, so I think we're in that. I feel like I can see it, like, because we work for festivals as well, and everyone's pushing the limits, pushing the boundaries creatively. I mean, I have to say, I think what I'm getting most joy out of right now is comment sections.
Yeah.
I think that is where the best comedy is lying.
Yeah,
The
there's some
best
good shit in there.
one-liners, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like losing it to comments. Like, the video is good, but the comments are like, whoa, crazy.
Some of them have like 50k likes and
Yeah.
just popping off. Yeah.
Oh,
Not so much on like Facebook. It's more for like TikTok and like Reels on Instagram.
Yeah, some really clever
Yeah.
people out there. So yeah, I'm really positive around the place that we're at, even though we're in a recession. 2007-ish was the global financial crisis, but it's also when Facebook came out and the iPhone, I think, So, okay, well, that's going to be us now, ain't it? So what are we going to make?
Yeah.
Because the time's right. Let's make something sick.
It's got me fired up, bro.
Oh,
It's
bro,
got me
I'm
fired
fired up. I'm
I
fired
feel the
up.
energy. That's me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, shot Harry. This has been such a pleasure, bro. It's been mean to catch up and just like hearing your story. I think so many familiar parts of it with just resonating from your experience being a young dad, bro. So yeah, love the mahi that you're doing, and just stoked you could jump on the pod.
Yeah.
We have some quick fire questions. We'll finish off with a quote as well. But where can people keep in touch with you and your mahi, brother?
Academy and House on Instagram or TikTok. Posting every day.
Yep.
I'm actually going to do my video with you in the background.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah,
man,
so I've
can't
written
even
the
get a
script.
picture.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sweet, bro. Well, these are the quick fire questions. Harry, what brings you true happiness?
What quick fire, bro? You just opened up the God chest. What makes me most happiest? I think it's a combination, like when like a little bit of everything's going right. Right now, a bit of money. But actually, I have no money right now. I'm happy as. I think it's when my brain feels like it's succeeding and discovering and learning and achieving a chunk out of 100% of, if it's 100% to achieve this one thing, you're chipping away at it.
Mm.
And if I feel like I'm making good chips away at it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy.
Mm.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of life?
The meaning of life.
Just a quick fire question,
So
throw away
quick,
comments.
Right. Okay. Well, like can I say the purpose of life?
Go on.
Is that the meaning of life?
Yep.
Yeah. I think the purpose of life is to be a good villager, to be a good person around people who are around you. And that's it. Just to be a good person. I think at the end of the day, you can grow a business, you can do all this, but if you're a wanker, you failed.
Yeah.
If you didn't see your kids because you're too busy, I think that's a fail.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think you just want to be a good villager and a good person to everyone around you.
Yeah.
And that's the top of the mountain.
Advice you wish you knew about when you were younger?
Condoms. Sorry.
Nah, no regrets, bro.
It's a good theme, eh? Advice I knew about when I was younger was, what is depression? Yeah, like what are the signs of it? Because I think I'd have spent like 3 years without getting into that. But I think young men now do know a bit more about it. I hope.
I think they do.
Signs to look out for. Yeah. So I think that's really cool.
What does legacy mean to you?
A positive reputation.
If you could change one thing in New Zealand, what would this be?
Te reo Māori would be compulsory in all schools.
Oh, yeah, it's a missed opportunity, eh?
Yeah, well, so I'm not Māori, but I'm learning it now. But I chose French. I learned French. And there's something around learning a language that teaches you a lot about empathy. It actually teaches you more about the English language. You get better vocabulary with your own language, especially if it's a Latin-based one. But yeah, it's empathy and understanding for others. Growing up, if the boys, we grew up with a lot of boys from Iraq, Samoa, Somalia, like a lot of refugees at EBIS and schools I went to, and they could speak 2 languages. And in my mind, they were smarter than everyone.
Bro, I think the same. When I was over in Europe, you hear like a little child speaking Italian, and like instantly I'm like, you're a genius.
Yeah. I totally. I think, and I think it should be compulsory.
That's nice. What do you believe is the main thing that's holding back young people in New Zealand?
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, bro. Love that one.
Totally. I think that people compare themselves to each other too much.
Yeah.
And they're worried about how they look. And so many clients I've worked through, like a lot of what I do is counseling to clients. No, bro, it's all good. It's all good, bro. No, do that, bro. Go for it. And just making them feel good. I mean, my MO now is give them their flowers.
Yeah.
That's in-house's MO. That's my MO. If people do something good, tell them. That's the issue New Zealand has. And I'd never heard that saying until about 3 years ago, and I went to the States. Oh, I heard Jelly Roll say it. He's like, yo, bro, I need to give you your flowers on that, bro. And I was like, what does that mean? And I heard it again. And it means I've got to tell you, like, good on you for that. I was like, well, no wonder I've never heard it. We've got tall poppy syndrome in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So my thinking is, if I can push this give them their flowers thing, can we maybe reduce that? And can we make culture in that? So my whole podcast is about giving people their flowers.
Bro.
And our whole, that's everything that we do now is give people their flowers.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping in 5-10 years, maybe we have a bit more of that culture, as opposed to people being resentful of you because you're achieving something.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah. Quietly having resentment, eh?
Right.
The quiet resentment.
Yeah. I've only just recently sort of come across it, but it's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that, bro. We'll finish off with a quote as well. And I stole this from your first podcast episode with the Porter guy. What's his name?
Josh Harris, Porter James.
Yes. And he said this and it really stood out. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. It's nice.
A life well designed.
Yeah. Shot, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, thank you, man. Thanks for putting it on.